What could I do for you?
Well, you was with me when Zeke was killed, so in a way, you're like the only person I could trust.
I would say this season for Tariq is about betrayal, disappointment, being let down by who you put your trust in, who you choose to trust, and who you're kind of fighting for trying to not trust them. Those were the words of Michael Rainey Jr. when he described what's to come for season 3 of Ghost, a season which seems like it's going to center around lies, deception, and betrayal. So welcome to the very first preview of Power Book 2 Ghost season 3. Long-term subscribers and viewers will know prior to an episode is where I bring you the preview of the episode, and we're going to follow a similar structure. I'll be breaking down events throughout the week in terms of interviews the actors have done and how it relates to their characters and storyline going forward. We're also going to be breaking down any new teasers and images that were released during the week and giving my overall predictions and perspectives based on evidence, facts, and findings. So with that being said, let's start with a synopsis for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3, Episode 1. Now, the episode title for Season 3, Episode 1 is Your Perception, Your Reality, and the synopsis reads, a new semester at Stansfield means a fresh start for Tariq. Brayden lends the ropes at Western Holdings under his uncle Lucas. Monet grieves the loss of Zeke. Meanwhile, we're gonna have Kane searching for a new connect. Now, your perception, your reality means the way you perceive or interpret certain situations and how this can shape or alter your understanding of reality. For example, the way I perceive certain situations from episodes of Ghost will be different to others, which is why I always encourage you guys to get involved in the comment section. Now, we all have different perceptions, perspectives, and beliefs, and not only does this really highlight the theme of my entire concept and videos that I bring when it comes to power, but also some of the conflict that Tariq would begin to face in Season 3, especially when it comes to Effie. Your perception, your reality really encourages everybody to recognize their own biased choices and perspectives to gain a more accurate understanding of the game that they're in. So just to add some more background and context, this is what Alex, who plays Effie, had to say on their relationship. So I think there's a lot of conversation that they start to have right off the bat in the first episode. There's an underlying theme of deception. Tariq feels like he can really trust these guys, where he basically says, you guys are like my family. So it's weighing heavy on her that she basically did this to Lauren, and he doesn't even know. They kiss, she has love for him and has his back, but she doesn't really, so it's complicated. Now in response, Michael Rainey said if she didn't do what she did, she wouldn't really have his back. And it's an interesting perspective from Michael Rainey Jr., which I don't think he was talking from the perspective of Tariq, but more so for a viewer. He understands if Effie didn't kill Lauren, then that's not Effie having Tariq's back, and it's true. But from Tariq's perspective, believe me, he's gonna feel that betrayal. Now, regardless of whether Effie's motives were selfish in possibly wanting Tariq for himself, as she once told Tariq, he did what he had to do, and she did what she had to do in getting rid of Lauren. But Tariq and Effie's relationship won't be the only problem for Tariq St. Patrick.
We're hearing from some of our students and faculty that they feel unsafe with Tariq on campus.
Unsafe? I haven't been found guilty of anything.
That is not the same thing as innocent.
Now, this is something we're gonna see in episode 1. Straight away, Tariq will have issues at Stansfield, and it stems from the trouble of last season, where he was caught up in the double homicide. So very much like Ghost's past, how it always had a way of catching up with him, it really does seem like Tariq's will continue to haunt him. But to his rescue will be Rashad Tate, who has his back. But we all know from Power, as well as Season 2 of Ghost, Tate's not helping Tariq for nothing. He'll definitely want something in return. Now, what he may want this time may be something to do with his route back into politics, because I'm not sure what else Tate would want with Tariq, but it definitely will be one to keep an eye on. So this is the time for Brayden Weston to turn up the heat, and he's been a slow evolution for his character, but I really do appreciate how the writers haven't rushed the process of turning Brayden into a killer too quick, or throwing him deep into the game just for the sake of it. It's been a gradual process for Brayden, but the next step does seem to be him being suspended from Stansfield and entering Wall Street to work under his uncle Lucas Weston at Western Holdings.
Course correct was genius. If I was still at Stansfield, something I would have thought of.
Thank you. Finally.
Taking the stand and telling the whole world you created it is less than genius.
So it really does seem like Lucas has taken a liking to course correct, and I do think this gives us some clues and indications of someone who may help Brayden and Tariq move product at Wall Street, or if Lucas isn't someone who helps them at first, when they get caught, he'll want in. But first, they need a new supplier.
Pops, listen, okay? I negotiated for us to get enough product to take over the entire city.
So Kane seems to have found a new connect, who we know is Nomar, but Lorenzo doesn't seem too keen, because he doesn't want to work with anybody connected to Mecca. But that's not all. He wants to take Nomar out, which is utter stupidity if you guys want my honest opinion. He's already made one mistake when he kills Zeke, and now he wants to go after someone who runs a global empire, which is why I do think it spells danger for Lorenzo. But it does seem like we're going to get our introduction to Nomar, and I'm expecting a character who's calm, strategic, and ruthless, someone who has a few layers to her character, but I don't expect to see all these different layers in an instant. But based on the trailer, at some point, we definitely will. Now to replace Mecha, they need to assemble a team, and so we're going to see Kane, Effie, Tariq, and Brayden linking up to decide on their next moves. So they need to put systems and an infrastructure in place, and there's no better man to lead this than Tariq St. Patrick. So I do expect Tariq to take the lead and make decisions, but Effie and Brayden will definitely have their say and play a key part, but so will Drew, as well as Diana. This is one of the exclusive images for episode 1, and where it seems like Kane, Drew, and Diana are at Mecha's penthouse, and I can only assume that very well may be a very small time jump, otherwise Mecha's apartment would definitely be off limits. Now, why they're at Mecha's apartment is yet to be seen, but no doubt, it's probably to do with business, a business which Monet wants no part of. In this teaser, she says she wanted out of the game, but regardless of what she wants and how she feels, she's got no choice, because Nomar will kill them if they don't move a product, and at this moment in time, she's got nothing else. She's lost Zeke, and that means she's lost her exit strategy, so now she needs to try and figure shit out while grieving. And this is what Mary J said on Monet's current state. She has feelings, she's mourning the loss of her child, and that's not normal for Monet. And Monet's definitely not in a normal situation. She's hurt, and all she seems to be focused on at this moment in time is finding the man responsible for Zeke's death. Now, unbeknown to Monet, he's standing right in front of her. She's also taking out a lot of shit on Diana, so I wonder if it's any different for Drew or Kane. But I think early on we'll definitely get the sense Monet definitely blames Diana. Now, we're also going to see Diana with flowers in hand, which are most likely for Zeke. Whether we see his funeral in episode 1 is yet to be seen, but I would like to think it would either be in episode 1 or 2, because we will see them at Zeke's memorial. But the funeral scene will definitely be broken up by a fierce shootout, so I'm really not sure if that's in episode 1. Now, elsewhere with the Tejadas, it does seem like Ev is leaving Stansfield, so does that mean the end for Drew and Ev's relationship, and will that only push Drew deeper into the game? Now, when it comes to Davis, there was an exclusive clip where it seems like he's searching for avenues to help his brother, and we all know Davis, he's going to do what he can to help Theo. Now, what complicates things is Cooper Saxe, who I do believe will get to the bottom of who was really behind the manslaughter, Davis Maclean. But that's not all when it comes to Davis. In an interview, he teased how we're going to see more of his backstory, but also how there seems to be a bit of a misconception surrounding what his motivations are as a character. The big misconception of Davis is he's just in it for the money. It's impossible, or else he wouldn't work as hard as he did. I think Davis is more focused on his win, and the power that comes with it. Now, he also said he's human and he's flawed, just like any other character. Now, elsewhere, it may be wise to keep an eye on returning characters from the Power universe, because the new showrunner Brett Mahoney did an interview where he said Blanca is one of the returning characters, but we may see more. So if we do see more, Elisa Marie is one character I would love to see back. Now, to end this preview, I'm going to finish on another quote from Method Man, which I think is a perfect way to go into Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3, Episode 1. All I can tell people is to keep their eyes and ears open. Everything ain't always what it seems, and if you like some of the prior cliffhangers from this show, you love these. And James was right about Tariq.